Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Business Connected digital series webinar. My name is Amy. I'm a Programme Manager at Enterprise Nation and very happy to welcome you here today. So for those of you who are joining an Enterprise Nation webinar for the first time, we're a vibrant community of small businesses and business advisors that exist to shortcut your route to trusted business support. So today's session is part of Business Connected. We've partnered with Vodafone Business to equip 800,000 small businesses over 3 years with different digital skills. And the program's also supported by our partners, Dropbox and JP Morgan. So for more information, do visit the Business Connected Hub. I'll be sharing the link in the chat during today's webinar. So the Business Connected digital series is also designed to help business owners to boost their online and digital skills. So if you have any questions throughout today's webinar, please post them into the Q&A chat function and we'll do our best to answer those at the end of the session. But it'd be great if everyone could share in the chat where they're tuning in from today and a little introduction to your business as well. So today's webinar is also going to be recorded and we'll be sharing a follow-up email to you this afternoon, which will have the recording and further resources in. But we are now joined by our speaker, Giorgia, who is going to be sharing how to elevate your marketing strategy by exploring creative and impactful ways to promote your business beyond social media. So very happy to have her with us today. So I'll now hand over to you, Giorgia, and I'll let you get started.
Thank you for introduction and thank you everyone for being here. I'm so excited to talk to you today about how to market your business beyond social media. So we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. So first of all, who I am a copywriter, a digital marketer with 16 years of business experience. And so I have built my businesses without social media, and as much as I love Instagram and Facebook, there are ways to expand and grow and be profitable without using that as well. So, and I'm a small business mentor. So let's see today from this session what you are going to take away. I'm gonna teach you how to make the most of industry events, trade shows, and conferences so you can make meaningful connections and build a network that actually gets you leads and clients. And then we are going to talk about the art of cold calling and emailing, because this is one of the best ways to build your business. And we're going to talk in particular about how to create messages that grab attention, that people actually want to read, that are not spammy. And then we're going to talk about how to partner with other businesses so you can get in front of audiences and clients that are already ready to buy. And so let's start with, why should you market your business beyond social media? Most people that I speak to when they're starting out, they jump on social media to attract sales and get clients. And social media is great. Okay, it is great, and I do recommend that you use it. But it should be part of your overall strategy. It should never be the only thing that you do, because you do not own your channels. And I know people that had their YouTube or Facebook or Instagram account shut down. And so you don't want to be in that place. You want to you want to be on different places and use a couple, 2 or 3 strategies to get consistent leads, so that if one stops working for a while, your business still keeps working and you still keep growing. Also, social media is time consuming and can lead to overwhelm. So again, it is, when done well, it's amazing and you should be doing, but don't, if it is not for you, if you are here and you're thinking, well, I really don't want to be on Instagram or Facebook, well, you don't have to. Again, it's a great strategy, but it's not the only strategy. And I really want to shift your mindset that it's not about reaching as many people as possible, but it's about reaching the right buyers, because followers and shares, they don't mean much if these people don't, if your clients don't buy from you. And so these 3 strategies that we are talking about today are about reaching not just people, not just an audience, not just followers, but I'm going to teach you how to reach buyers and clients. So the first strategy is leveraging industry events. And I want to hear from you. Uh, has any of you gone to conferences or trade shows, and what has been your experience so far? Because I know, so put in the chat if you've been or if you've not been, and what your experience has been. Because I speak to so many people that they have no idea how to leverage these opportunities, and they are wondering if it is actually worth going, if it's not worth going. Maybe they've been to some conferences or some events, but they really came away without making any connections, and so that can leave a bad taste in your mouth and make you wonder, well, is it actually worth to actually go to these events? So let's see. Yeah, so we just said I've been to a trade show. So okay, let's see how to make the most of them. So here I talk most about trade shows, but it can be conferences, it can be a summit, it can be any industry event that is catered to your industry, and where you're going to find potential buyers, leads that are just in your services. And they are a very powerful platform because you can display your products and services to people that are already interested in them. And you can interact with colleagues for, again, partnership opportunity, which we'll cover later on. You can generate leads. And most importantly, people at trade, 82% of trade show attendees have the authority to make buying decisions. So they are the right, because sometimes when you call or cold email or social media, it can be hard to reach the people that can actually say, yes, I can work with you. But at trade shows, those people are already there and they can see straight away. And so it's in person, right? And as much as we're social media and being online and working from home, it's so much easier to build trust and credibility when you meet people in person. And so the first tip that I have for you is to choose the right event. Just because an event is in your industry, it doesn't mean that it is the right event for you to attend. So the first step is get clear on what you want to get out of the trade show or the conference. Do you want leads? Do you want to increase your brand awareness? Do you want to make sales? Do you want to maybe launch a new product or services, do like a small launch at the event? And once you are clear on what your goal is, then start doing your research. And the first step, of course, is to go on the website of the trade show and see um, what they are offering, but also speak to people that have already been there, look for reviews. You want to understand who attends these events. Again, are they in events where they are? Again, if you, let's say that you go like years ago when I was in the beauty industry, I attended like industry event for, again, for beauty and skincare. And so I was looking for events where I could generate leads. And so some of those events, again, they were just people showcasing their products and services. In other people, you would have just consumers, again, just consumers that would just wanted to go and see what else was new. So you want to see are there, because again, it's also different if you sell B2B or you sell direct to consumers, right? So you want to see if you sell that to consumers directly, you want to make sure that that's the audience that is there. If you sell to a middleman or if you sell to CEO, you want to make sure that that's the audience that is at that event. And where does it take place? Are there, because if an event is in a different city, there are obviously extra costs included, like hotel and transportation and food. So you want to make sure again that the extra expenses are worth it. And how many people does the event attract? Is it a small event? Is it a huge event with hundreds of people? Does it have a good reputation? Or again, talk to people who have been there. This is really where the gold is. Don't just, just talk to other attendees and see, okay, you went there. Have you showcased the products there? Have you got any leads there? What are the tips? And make sure that, again, have your competitors been successful at these events? If they had a stall at a trade show, if they spoke at a conference, what was their experience? Did they actually get any leads, any clients? Did they make any sales from the stage, from the platform or not? I also want to look for extra opportunity because at these trade shows, you will have the opportunity, there are different tiers. Like when you buy your ticket, there are different tiers. And sometimes there are some free tickets where you can just go for free and see what products are available. But then if you pay extra, you may get your own store to advertise your products, or you may have the opportunity to have a VIP dinner or a VIP lunch with some speaker, with some other attendees. They may give you the opportunity to host your talks or to workshops. And yes, it costs an extra fee, which is why you want to do your own research and you want to know again who attends these events. Are my buyers there? If your buyers are there, then take every opportunity you can to stand out. Don't just go with the intention to I'm gonna make a connection. Make the intention to actually stand out to people. And what's a better way to actually host a workshop or to have a booth? And of course, if you can speak to people, if you can speak to uh, like to speakers or to the organizers, that always boosts your profile. Because if you can get into their network, they have a very powerful network that can and they can promote you as well. And we're gonna get into that a lot later. And again, ask to the people that went to this event what their experience are and ask them specifically what advice they have for you, what they wish they would have done differently to get more clients, to make more sales. Because again, you want to, especially if there is a big fee involved, you want to make sure to maximize the opportunities at those events. And it's best to just go to maybe one event a year or two events a year and just smash it there and just go to lots of events here and there. Also research other attendees at the shows, at conferences, industry events. These days they have apps where you can actually see the entire list of attendees. Sometimes they have the list on their website. So do some research and see who else is going. And then when you have this list, go through and look for people that you would love to connect with at events. Of course, again, look at the buyers. If you want to connect with CEO, if you want to connect with buying managers, people that make purchases, see who is at the top of your list and again, make a list. You make a list of people that you would specifically like to connect, that you think this would be a good person to partner with. This could be I would love to partner with this company. I would love to start with this company. I would love to get this client. And then start doing your research on those people. So you want to connect with Sally, because Sally is the buyer at a big company. Okay, so Sally social media. Does Sally have a blog? Does she post on Instagram? And do your research and see and make some notes of maybe she, maybe a company just had a big win or they were featured somewhere important, or maybe they you see that, oh, we went to the same school, or okay, we are kids that are the same age. So again, look for things that would generate an immediate connection, and then connect before the event. Again, send them a nice email and say, introduce yourself, introduce what you do, so you'll be at the event. And it would be great if you could actually spare like a few minutes of their time to grab coffee, or share that you're gonna pass by their booth, or that you will be at their talk. It usually works better when you email and use LinkedIn, like do both. Some people only send one message, then don't hear back. But again, this is an opportunity for you to stand out and show the person that, hey, they done their research on me and they know what they're talking about. You can also run ads. If you want to generate leads and sales, go on LinkedIn and run some LinkedIn ads to your prospect. So okay, now you are from the big list of attendees, you have a few people you would like to target, a few companies you would like to target. So run ads to those companies and those attendees before the event, because then when you are at the event and they see you, you will be top of mind. They will immediately recognize you. And then when you go to the event, again, take every opportunity to network. There are free tickets again that allow you to be there and talk and just connect, just enjoy the day. But if you can attend the talk, if you can attend the workshop and a VIP lunch, every opportunity that you can take to network with industry peers, with speakers, with organizers, do take it, because that's usually where the goal is. And again, do so in a genuine way. Ask questions, listen with rapport. Don't just go in straight with a sale, but establish connection first, and then a compelling pitch. So be very clear about what you do and be memorable. A lot of the time, people just say, I have a beauty brand and we do skincare products that is sustainable and it's organic. Well, you need to go a lot deeper than that. What it is there about your product or service that actually makes you stand out and makes you remember why should people use your product. Another great tip is to stay at the hotel where the conference is held and never, never, ever eat alone. Because again, when you are staying at the same hotel, you're gonna run into the same attendees, even like at the elevator, for example. Or again, never have lunch alone. Just ask. You have your list of people to connect with. So again, send them an email before the event and say, can we have lunch? Or you can even, I know people that works very well. If you organize a dinner, if you say that you're going for, we are all going to this event at this conference, why don't we have dinner together? And you organize the event, you send out uh, the invites to the people you want to connect with, and they're going to be very grateful that you take the time to invite them, to introduce them to other people, and just by doing that, you're going to automatically stand out from the crowd. And then when you talk to these people, to collect their phone numbers, their email addresses, take notes of what you discussed, because the gold is in the follow-up. So some people we may buy straight away, but it's in the following up later on. And you need to follow up like the day after and talk about, again, take notes. So yesterday we discussed X, Y, and Z, and remind them who you are, what you discussed, and then proceed with, hey, we discussed about this business opportunity. We discussed about working together. We discussed about, you buy my product. Are you still interested? So pursue those leads straight away. And yeah, I just covered all of this, but yeah, and then when you send your message, very, very important to propose next steps. So again, remind them of, we connected yesterday and we discussed, maybe we were talking about, go to the same school or visit the same place. And we also discussed, a business partnership. At that point, ask them to get on a call with you, to schedule a coffee meeting. Don't just say, let's stay in touch, or can you get back to me? Make sure that there is a clear next step and action they can take straight away. And if they don't reply straight away, again, use a mix of tools, email, Instagram, phone calls. Not everyone will be ready to buy straight away, but what it takes is really being persistent. And what I like to do is, if someone doesn't reply immediately, I like to follow up once a week for 3 weeks. And if after that I don't hear anything back, then I would just leave it for a while. I will continue to interact with their LinkedIn posts or also on their Instagram profile, but I will wait a few months before I actually start pursuing the sale again, but always make sure that there is, again, a very clear step and a very clear call to action. So this is a lot, and to the introduction. The next step is the art of cold calling and emailing. So I would love to hear from you if you ever tried cold calling and emailing. So please put in the chat if you've ever used this stuff, because I know a lot of people hate doing this. If it's seen as spammy, it's seen as I'm bugging someone. But this is one of the most effective ways to get clients, especially when you are still starting out. So let me know where you are with that. So yeah, some people that are emails, but not calls. Yeah, in these days, most people prefer cold emails to cold calls, and there are pros and cons to both. So cold calls and cold emails, basically you are messaging people that you have no prior relationship with, they don't know who you are, but it is, but they have an interest in your services, like in in copywriting or in web design or whatever it is that you do. They just don't know about you specifically. So the difference is that cold calls are more personal because you can immediately get on the phone with them and you can start building reports. But it can also be intrusive, right? Because maybe you are in working and going through your day, then you get a call out of the blue from someone that wants to sell to you. So when done right, when you're contacting the right people, it's very effective because again it builds rapport quickly, but it can feel intrusive. But the cold emails are less intrusive, they can be easy to ignore, easy to delete, easier to scale as well, because you can have a lot more calls. You can send a lot more emails. Like in the time you have a phone call, you can send like a dozen emails. And the key here is to choose the right people because I'm sure you've all been receiving emails or messages on Facebook or even on WhatsApp these days about, hey, I'm selling this product. Do you want to work with me? And you're like, oh no, why is this person bothering me? Why is she in my email? I don't know who she is. And she's already starting to sell to me. So to be effective, you need to cold email or call people that already have an interest in your product. So these people already have a problem they want solved, and you are the solution to that problem. So that's why you need to, first of all, to be really, really clear on who their client is, what problem they are experiencing, and craft a pitch that speaks directly to the problem. I remember a few years ago, I got a cold email from a virtual assistant, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy this person reached out because I was getting overwhelmed and I was thinking about sourcing. And because she was in my inbox, I was like, yes, this is something that I want. And I ended up hiring her. So again, they are spamming only when you start emailing random people that don't want your services. But when someone has a problem and you email them about a solution, they will be happy to hear from you. Now, a bit of tech before we start with cold emails. You need to verify your domain, and which means that don't send emails from a generic gmail.com account. It has to have your domain name. So if your domain is, again, for example, in this case, it would be Giorgia at enterprisenation. And start sending 10 email, 20 email, 50 email, because if you start sending 200 emails a day from a Gmail account, it will be flagged as spam. So make sure you have a domain name with your business name and start sending emails gradually. So find the right leads. I like to use LinkedIn, but there are other software and services that you can do. So first of all, create your ideal customer avatar. So what job do they do? Where do they live? What problems do they have? I personally like to filter them based on a problem for most people and for jobs. So are you going for entrepreneurs? Are you going for CEO? Are you going for lawyers? And then is your business local or is your business international? If it is local, you can filter for people that are in your city or in your county or even in entire country. If it is global, it doesn't matter so much, but you need to be clear on who your people are and what specific problem and desire they have. And you only want to email the people that fit the customer profile and they want what you have to offer. I use, my favorite tool is LinkedIn, because even with the free version of LinkedIn, you can get so many leads and you can connect to people. You can pay, I think it's £79 a month to the pro version, which again, it's next level. You can email so many people every month. But even just the free version helps you to refine your search by location, by industry, by job title, whatever is relevant for your ideal client. There are databases like Apollo.io or Crunchbase where you have an account there, and I think Apollo has a free tier, but otherwise it's mostly paid, where basically they have a database of thousands of people in all different fields, in all different jobs, and they already have their email address there, so it's very easy to find the right people to target because they are companies from all over the world. Another way to find leads is to create a lead magnet, which is like a freebie. You may have seen uh, like for example, if you want this checklist, enter your email address, or if you want to watch this webinar, enter your email address, or even Facebook ads. They are very effective to collect leads in your own database. So in this case, you will need to have an email list where you can funnel people through, and then you email them through your list. It doesn't really matter, by the way. You can choose LinkedIn, you can choose Apollo, Crunchbase. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. Just make sure that whatever you choose, there are people specifically in your niche, but they all do the same thing. So don't overthink this step. So how to write an effective cold email? Do your research to find out about the company, the person you're reaching out to, and what they're currently working on, what they're struggling with. Are they having like a book launch? They're promoting something. Introduce yourself, your company, where you're reaching out, and say something nice about the person. And this is key. You need to have a compelling value proposition, which means if you just say, I'm a copywriter, that's very generic, right? But if I say, I ghostwrite blogs for thought leaders, which basically means that I write your blog in your name, that is a lot more specific. And the right people will be like, yes, I want that. You also need to include social proof, testimonials, results that you got for other people, and finish with a clear call to action. Again, ask for a quick call or for a free trial. Make it something very easy that for people to say yes to. This is an example that of a successful cold email. And she says, hi, Roger, hope your week is going well. I read about Gigster launch in a recent article on TechCrunch. You guys are doing some cool work. So in this sentence, she is showing that she's done a research, she knows about the company, and it basically says something nice about it. So it's showing interest. And then I was checking out your website and noticed you don't have any customer success stories. So you see, she's not pitching some random service, but she wants to look for the gap or what's missing. And then she offers a solution. Do you need help with this? I help turn positive customer experiences into captivating stories. And with your new launch and need to build trust and growth, I imagine you have a lot of great stories to tell that showcase the impressive results you've helped your clients achieve. For example, the testimonial from Humahira and Lily will be perfect ones to flesh out into a two-page case studies. As you know, research has shown that two-page case studies is one of the most effective content marketing methods. So she has spotted what's missing, she is providing a solution, and then she's telling you why the solution is the best. And then recently, I helped a travel product company boost awareness and blow their funding goals out of the water with a case study, and you can check it out here. This is the similar, this is the case study, the proof that a solution is actually working. And then also as company with other things, if you need anything else. When are you open for a 15-minute call next week to chat about how we can work together? See, she didn't say, are you open or if you're open? She said, when are you open for a 15-minute call? Because if you tell people if you're open or are you open, like a yes or no question, if they say no, there is no leeway. So when you say, when are you open, she already sets the standard for, okay, this person, to give the person something to do and put the person in the mindset of, oh, maybe I should have a call with her. So if you do cold emails, follow this template. Show interest, spot what's missing, offer the solution, why it works, case studies, and then a clear call to action. Another successful email is by Mailshake, and they say, hi Morgan, during lunch yesterday with Mark, you mentioned you were looking to do some conversion rate testing, and just so happens my company specializes in just that. It thought it beneficial for us to connect since I recently helped Lauren improve the conversion rates by 50% and is the case study. So this is much shorter because there is a connection. Someone recommended you, so the trust is already built. And so it just goes into how we can help them and a case study. And you see, if you're interested, would you be open to a short call on Wednesday at 10 a.m.? So give them something very easy to say yes to, because if you start saying, if you start giving them too many options, then it may take a while to get on that call. Subject line is the most important part of your email, because if you don't get that right, then no one will open your email. And so the best subject lines either are descriptive or they elicit curiosity. So can I solve this problem for you? Are you looking for a smart way to achieve this goal? Or, hey, check this out. Or Nick suggested I reach out. So these all spark curiosity, but also very clear that you can help me, you can help your potential client with their problem. And finally, I know that I'm going very fast, but I want to make sure that I give you all the tools and leave time for Q&A later on. So the last strategy is partnering with other businesses. And I want to hear from you. Again, type in the chat if you have ever partnered with other businesses and done some collaborations. This is something that most people are hesitant to do because they think that if you partner with someone else, they may see your clients, when actually it's one of the most effective ways to get clients. And if you look at successful people at the top, they are always partnering together with each other, and there is a reason why. So let me know if you have ever tried any kind of partnerships. So Carla said, not done this before, but I think successfully. Yes, this works super well. And you see, building your audience, it takes a long time. But when you partner with other people, they already have an audience and will say to their audience, then you are instantly put in front of people that are primed to buy from you. You get trust from the person you partner with because she's recommending you to their audience, and so you get their trust. But also those people are buying from that other business, and so you know that they have the money to buy from you as well. So it's the fastest way to build trust, and you can also get access to the sources and connections that you otherwise wouldn't have. So for example, if you want to do some event, partnering with someone that already has a venue is much easier than looking for a venue on your own. It's a great way to build your own network because you're constantly networking with other people, partnering with them, doing business together. And it's also a great way to expand your services and filling gaps in your offer suite. So for example, this means that let's say that you are a web designer and you only do custom work one-on-one, but you may have some clients that want templates, right? So if you partner with someone that has a template and you get a commission on those purchases, it's a way to boost your revenue and to offer people that wouldn't buy the custom package another service, and you still make money from that. So you do end up making more money, and it's the fastest way to build a buyers list, because I see a lot about building followers on social media or building a big email list, but it's not about building subscribers or building followers. You want buyers. You want to build a list of buyers that will buy from you, they will purchase what you have to offer. And so there are lots of different ways to partner with other people. And the first one is podcast guesting. So you will research different types of podcasts and you will pitch them, say, hey, I would love to come on your podcast and talk about my area of expertise. You can host a summit. A summit is basically an interview series. You create, so let's say that you are a web designer. You are going to uh, contact, let's say, 10 people, 10 web designers, and each of them will do a talk on a different topic of web design, and people will subscribe to get access to all those talks. And this works so well because first you build your network, because you're interviewing other people, you're giving them exposure. But those people that are being interviewed, they are gonna tell their email list, social media followers, hey, I've been interviewed on this person podcast. And so it puts you in front of 10 audiences at the same time. It's time consuming to build, but it really does pay dividends. or you can host a webinar, a workshop, or an event like I'm doing right now. You can bundle your products and services together. So this works well, especially for if you do a webinar with someone else. At the end, you can say, hey, we're gonna bundle two products together. So you as the client get two products for the price of one, so you get more sales. And then you split the proceeds. You can go live on social media with someone else. You can do Instagram stories takeover. So for one day, you will do Instagram stories on someone else's platform. You can do guest posting. So can you write a blog post for someone else? You can do affiliate marketing where you get a commission. Well, you give a commission to people to promote your services. So if you whatever product that you have a software, you have beauty products, you can just say, hey, if you send an email to your list and anyone buys, you get 20% or 30% of that sale. And it's money that you wouldn't otherwise have, right? So you still are making a profit. Or a product collaboration. You see this especially with physical products, where you have this collaboration with, for example, and now I know Dior has made some collaboration with a journal. So again, you get some journal with the Dior logo, and that's a way to if you have a product-based business, maybe you can partner with some designer or some illustrator or a business in another domain and create like a product with their branding or with their design, so you attract their audience as well. The important thing is to choose the right partner. So don't ask yourself, how can I get more clients? But ask yourself, who is my client? Because I can guarantee you there are people that already have, your clients already are buying from someone else, right? And so when you know who your client is, then you can say, okay, who is already serving my ideal client, but in a different way, because you don't want to target direct competitors, right? You want to target clients, the people that have your clients, but they serve them in a different way. So, for example, it can be in the same industry, but different services. So, like I said before, you're a web designer, but you only have custom packages, partner with someone who has templates. Or if you are in a different industry, but you can have your same idea clients. So my business coach regularly partners with financial experts, with lawyers, with copywriters, even with fitness coaches, because their clients are entrepreneurs. And if you are an entrepreneur, then you need a website and you need social media and you need webinars and you need insurance and you need copywriters. So think about who else does my client buy from? Or if you have a fitness business, again, your clients may be interested in not just fitness, but maybe interested in eating healthy. So you may be interested in meditation, be interested in wellness. So look for people in those areas and partner with them. Think about where does the client hang out, with podcasts, with guest posts. Think about what podcasts does my client listen to, what blogs or magazines does she read, and then try to get featured into publications. And again, which coaches, service providers, influencers, brands does your ideal client follow? So you can start building partnerships with those people. And then reaching out to partners is similar to cold emails. Always, always, always do your research, introduce yourself, and share why you are a good fit for your audience. Most people just say, hey, I'm a copywriter, I'm a web designer, and I do this. That's not enough. You need to share to people why you are the right person for their audience and how their audience will benefit from hearing about you and your services. And I've seen does really well with someone that was offering financial services. And she basically said, can I do this masterclass for your audience about how they can save some money? And I was like, yes, of course you can do that. It's a very specific ask. And also, when you send the email, don't say, hey, I love your work. I would love to do something together and partner up. That is too generic, and people just don't want to do the work. So decide yourself. Are you inviting them to do a webinar? Are you inviting them to be on your summit? Do you want to do Instagram Live with them? Be very specific. You can give them one or two options, or you can say, if this doesn't work, then I am open to suggestions, but don't let them do all the work. Don't approach someone saying, I want to collaborate with you, but you decide the idea. Propose the idea and then see what a person says, and maybe they will have a different idea. But it's always good to be proactive and know that you exactly know how you can help their audience and the best way to do that. And again, give a specific call to action. So if you're interested, are you available for a 10-minute Zoom call this week to discuss details? And here's the link to my calendar. I do like to give the link to my calendar, and my calendar is set to only have appointments for the next week. So anyone their books can only book for the next 7 days. And so again, that actually is because you don't want this to go on forever. You don't want people to go back and forth. So if you can give them your calendar and some urgency, that works best. So some examples. This is by Melissa Griffin, and she says, Hey Sunny, Chris has raved about what an amazing person you are, and I feel like I hear your name around the interwebs at least once a week. So I'm grateful to be in contact with you, and I think we have in common. So again, this is a brief introduction. Like you're basically saying that this person has recommended me, so you already build trust. And then I have a couple of ideas for you. I love the view for my podcast. And say you are a powerhouse, and I know my peeps will love to learn from you. I love how you incorporate motivation, self-love, and self-help into your work, like in this video. And I also love to feature you as a guest expert for my membership. We have 1,000 members right now who are hungry to grow their business. We recently pulled them, and using video in their business was one of the topics they want to learn about. So again, when she says we pulled them and using video in their business was the top topic, that means that, and Sunny does video, that's something that is instantly there for Sunny. Sunny read this and thinks, well, my friend Chris recommended them and she has 1,000 members. They want to use videos. She has my idea clients. And so it's a no-brainer for Sunny to say yes to this because you are showing her the value of collaborating with you. And so this is everything that I have for you right now. I know that this is a lot, but I want to leave room for Q&A. And if you want to connect with me, of course, there is always LinkedIn. So I'll open for questions now.
Thank you so much, Giorgia. I'll get straight stuck into the questions. So first question is, how should businesses handle and respond to any negative feedback or rejection from cold calls or emails?
So first of all, it is normal to get rejections or to have people that not reply from you. That is something to be expected because not everyone that you contact is going to be your ideal client. Now, if you get an email where there is they say something like, well, I don't appreciate you contacted this way, or I don't like the way you approach me. In that case, I would actually look at the email that you sent and ask myself, what could I have done differently? For example, this email all about me and what I do, and it's not enough about the person. I didn't say anything to create a connection first. And you can also reply to that person and say, thank you for your feedback. Just out of curiosity, what made you uh, think that? What I really want feedback so that I can improve my outreach later on. So it's take it as an opportunity to constantly improve your pitch and refine that.
Love that. Okay, perfect. Next question is, when starting out in e-commerce and trying to find product suppliers or wholesalers to provide products for you, is calling them via telephone the best first approach as opposed to email, which could be ignored and is obviously slower form of communication?
Yes, I think that it's good to have a mix of tools. Always use the telephone. And telephone is always I know that it's the scariest thing, right? But actually, if you can get through and get someone on the phone, you're gonna get the best results. But if you call or you email and you don't get a reply, again, be persistent, keep calling, keep emailing, follow them on social media. Of course, don't pester them like every day, 10 calls a day, but follow up regularly with them. And if you can get on the phone, yeah, that's the best.
Okay, perfect. Another question we've had is any tips for networking when you're socially awkward?
So I used to be the most socially awkward person to the point that I just hired a body language coach for 6 sessions to get out of that. And some of the tips that she gave, for example, you can just say so. You can just say, you can just go to someone and say, I am feeling a bit awkward. I'm an introvert and I am, out of my depth here. And you'll be surprised just how instantly people will warm up to you and that we introduce you to someone else. So the first part is just admit that is a good icebreaker. And then if you're very introverted, I would say make sure you connect with them before. Send messages before on LinkedIn or on Instagram or an email saying why you would like to connect with them so that you're not feeling like you're meeting a complete stranger.
Okay,
And again, don't and it's a learning curve. Honestly, the more you put yourself out there, the first interactions are gonna be awkward. So just accept it as a learning curve, give yourself grace, and just keep doing it.
perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's some really good advice there. Um, One person has also just sent in the question saying, I put on events to buy antiques, gold jewelry, and collectibles from the general public. I use flyers and Facebook marketing. Do you have any other suggestions to connect with potential customers?
So is this something that you do like at a market store? Is that what?
I'm not sure if they do market stores. They just say that they put on events to buy the antiques, gold jewelry, and collectibles from the general public,
Well,
and
okay.
that they use flyers and Facebook marketing.
Okay, so I imagine that it's ads with Facebook marketing because ads work really well. But
Yeah,
again,
maybe they just said that they don't do any road shows.
you could do those shows, yes, but also uh, when you're starting out, just outreach to everyone, so to your network. And even though your network may not be your ideal client, there may be someone in their network. So in that case, your cold email pitch would be like, I'm doing this, I'm doing these events. And do you know anyone that could be interested? Could you put me in contact with anyone that could be interested? So that's something that I would do. Social media, yes, but also be proactive and think about, okay, who is my client? Because I don't know if your client is consumers or if you're selling to businesses as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have any other information. Maybe if they can send through
If it is other
more
businesses, then you can
information on their
go.
business. Yeah.
If it is to businesses, again, you can go LinkedIn and use the cold outreach templates to connect with other businesses, see there is a partnership. If it is consumers, then it is more about really ads in that case, floods, ads, direct marketing, flyers.
Okay, perfect. Another question is, how can businesses leverage customer customer testimonials or case studies in their marketing strategy? Do you have any advice around that?
Yes, the first advice is don't just share a testimonial. 'Cause I see this all the time on Instagram, on Facebook, or website where you just have a testimonial. And don't do that. Like what you should do is create a small case study. So when this person came to me or before using my product, yes, what she was, and then yes, what she used, or we did together, and this is the end result. So always create that the story and then use that like in every opportunity. You can use that on your website, use it on your socials, you can have a case study to you can see and that can be your freebie, right? You can say if you want to know how this person achieved this result with my method, give me your email and send me the case study. When you are interviewed on podcasts, make sure that you talk about your work, make sure that you say, oh, and here's how I helped this person that through this process. So there are so many different ways that you can use, but just get into the habit of showcasing your client stories every single day, find an opportunity every single day to showcase the story and the transformation. And I mean, there are a gazillion, really. I cannot tell them all, but case studies with emails and transformation stories on socials work really, really well.
Amazing, thank you. And time for one final question. What are some common mistakes that businesses make when they're trying to kind of leverage trade shows or events for networking, and how can they overcome them?
So one of the biggest mistakes that I see is people going there without a clear intention. And by this, I mean, well, this is the event in my industry. There are going to be other people there. So I'm just going to go without any preparation at all. And then what usually happens is that you end up talking to a bunch of random people, but you don't have much to show for it. You also don't have, you may not even have a pitch prepared. So getting very, very clear on what your goal is. If you want leads, if you want awareness, if you want just to showcase, just to see what the competition does sometimes maybe, but just to get really clear on that. And then find people to connect with that are relevant to your goals. Again, follow the steps that I gave you, because once you have the clear intention, or you follow all the steps that I gave in this talk, you're gonna get results. But if you don't have the clear intention, just wanna go to socialize, well, that's the biggest mistake that people actually make. And also not taking opportunities like upgrading their ticket for VIP launches or for workshops, because I understand when you're starting out, budget is a factor. So I wouldn't say just random buy anything. But if there is a particular speaker, or you can be in front of your ideal client, there is a business cost that will pay dividends later on. So in that case, I would recommend to upgrade your ticket, and so you can connect to the right people. Think of it as investment and not as a cost.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who has joined us on today's webinar. I hope you found it useful. I've shared a link in the chat for you to be able to provide your feedback. We'd love to know how we did during today's webinar and what we can do to improve. Be sure to sign up to Business Connected to be the first to hear about future online workshops such as this, to gain support and guidance on your business journey. And we will be sharing the recording and further resources in a follow-up email later today. But thank you so much to our speaker, Giorgia, for sharing all of your wisdom with us today and top tips. It's been very insightful. And I hope everyone has a lovely afternoon. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.